Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's myself, James Banks, joined by Nicholas and MMCK, otherwise known as Chris. They're here to support us with shoutcasting and some great analytics to do with the crew and Route 909. What we've got coming up for you next is a couple of customization videos from the two teams that you're about to see play. So we're going to have a look at their cars and have a look in some more detail at that. And don't forget, facebook.com/Route909 is where you can vote for your favorite car. So if you take a fancy to any of these two cars, head on over to there and like their photos, because that will be entering into your vote. And guys, I can see you're all still hanging around with us. Thank you for being patient with us at the moment. Keep tuning in and keep watching, because we're giving away a lot of beta keys and we're involving you guys a lot, giving you some chance to see some exclusive footage. And the key thing here is, remember, this is only a small percent of the game. This isn't a full release yet. So we're going to go straight into the game now. It's going to be Paris versus Paris. It's Meltdown Paris versus Getty Lyrique, and I probably keep saying it wrong. I'm so sorry for all you French people out there, but I am trying my hardest. Such a British accent with that French. Shoutcasting alongside me will be Nicholas, and at the end of every race, MMCK Chris, he'll be joining us to talk about some of the finer points, the more detailed points of the races we've just seen. So, I believe we're ready just now. We're going to wait for that to come in. What do you guys think of this? You're looking forward to seeing the Paris versus Paris, especially if we've got it in our studios. We can literally just see it down there.
Absolutely. I think this is one of the battles that the French people will look forward to. And you can see they're all watching there. And it will be a good match. For sure.
Well, looking at how people drive here in Paris, I'm thinking it's going to be an interesting match.
Yes.
You had to get that little point in. We've had some interesting driving experiences in Paris so far.
They are naturally skilled for the crew. Just by driving here.
Well, I mean, people in Paris just don't care when they drive. So it's going to be interesting to see how much they use each other as like bouncing objects and just being able to cut corners using the opponents as a cornerstone to hit.
They do care, but you have to stand your ground when you drive in Paris.
Yeah,
true.
Well, you do have to stand your ground in Paris, but we're going to come right back now with the customization video for the Meltdown Paris team and then the Getty Lyrique team, and then we're going to get on with our first crew battles for the day. So that was the cars from Meltdown Paris, and we discussed it a little bit earlier. Kind of I think it was Chris, you said about the carbon bonnet it had on it there, and the green all the way around. They're sticking with their team colours for Meltdown Paris right there.
A little bit of female curves there, I think.
Female curves. Well, the owner of Meltdown is female, so maybe that's where that inspiration came in. We've got the Getty Lyrique video ready now, so we're going to bring that right up, and straight after, guys, it's going to be your first crew battle, and I'm excited to see this, so watch this and we'll be right back. So that was the cars from Getty Larry, and you could see us dancing there. I knew they were going to put that on camera at one point to show you guys all that enjoyment. And that's my favourite car still, though. Just an all-white kind of standard, the white rims there as well, black line all the way down. And we're going to be getting ready very soon, I believe. We're just having we're seeing what's going on. We should be ready very shortly with the first crew battles, and it's going to be a Paris versus Paris. They're right here looking at each other right now. This kind of gives us a bit of a LAN view of like real competition right now. So I can see it's getting ready on screen. We're looking down right now, and ooh, look at that. That's a
Paris on Paris.
Yeah, Paris on Paris, definitely.
And that's the
where's
spectator driving off.
That's the spectator car. He's getting into his position. There we go. He's entering spectate mode. So that's just giving you a little function of how spectate mode's currently working. And ooh, it looks like Getty Larry have got their first two, so they're in first and second right now. And Meltdown's just taken into a second place there. Yeah, it's all so important at this. But look at this beginning corner. You can really mess you up.
One guy here just gets left completely in the corner. He was the first guy into the corner and took it wide enough so that the other guys could use him as a ram and just
bounce off him the whole way.
Exactly, yeah.
And you can see we're following the Getty Larry guy right now. I believe that's car guy. I think it's hard to see. It's got a distance from the screen here, and
maybe
yeah, potentially. And it's so important with these races at the beginning, as we said before. Hanging back a little bit is needed, because then first couple of corners, anything can happen. You're all so close and bunched up. You're bouncing off each other, and oh, look at this! See, shortcut time. I'm probably you probably know these shortcuts very well, Nicholas.
That one is that one cuts you off like 3 seconds off your lap time or something, and helps you out quite a lot just to come out of the bushes, so to speak.
Literally in your camo as well.
Yeah.
So we can see we got Meltdown in first, Getty Larry second, third and fourth. So their point system's going to look a lot better if they manage to hold this. But this map's not that short, really. We're only a minute and a half of the way through currently.
Yeah, and it's the Chicago tour, and you pretty much go from one side of Chicago and make a big U over the entire city of Chicago and end up almost where you started.
So Kaiser from Meltdown Paris at the moment, he is in first by not too far. I think he's got someone in his rear view there, not too far behind. But in this position where you've got all this open road in front of you, as long as you don't make any stupid mistakes, you're going to be doing not too bad at all. We're just flicking through the different players there. We've got onto some of the Getty Larry players, and Meltdown's actually managed to sneak into third position, so they've got first and third at the moment. Koga from Getty Larry is sat on second, and it's all pretty tight, and I'm liking the fact this is a lot closer. There is no you see that spin out into the barriers there.
You see it going on, like the straight distances or the straight roads are pretty easy to deal with, but then you end up in a corner, and you've been driving so fast for so long that you misinterpret the amount of braking you need to do, and you end up just getting smashed into a corner.
But they need to remember they're on the same team. Did you see that then? There were two of the members from Getty Larry. They were just fighting against each other. No, you're looking at your teammate. Don't use your teammate to win. You've got to play a team game here, because the point system works as a team. You just come on.
So that's just
sportsmanship. Where is it?
That's just it, really. I mean, you could play this game like a solo player. You could play with your crew and try and form some sort of crew mentality where you give room to each other, you communicate where you're going, and you try and make room to everybody on the road.
But definitely, certainly right now, Kaiser is not having any issues with holding his lead. No one's really challenging him, and I can't even see someone behind him at the moment. So I think as long as he doesn't make any big mistakes, he's looking very comfortable right now. And another thing to factor into this, guys, is the fact that ongoing traffic, you've got all of the street traffic around you, and they abide by the rules. They stop at the red lights, and that could just mess you up at the wrong time.
But then again, it's not just oncoming and ongoing traffic. It's the traffic from the sides as well. Like a school bus just decided, just getting a green light and going in front of you when you're coming with 160 miles per hour.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
It's pretty hard to use the clutch and handbrake and like try and somehow maneuver out of that position.
The worst one I had is when I went straight into a train. I thought I was going to beat the barriers, and that train just came and wiped me out from the side completely.
Yeah. So and it is just these obstacles coming out of nowhere, and on top of that you have these constant obstacles in the opponents, and they can also make a lot of different decisions, and you have to react to that. And here we see the first guys actually ready to finish up the race here. Kaiser for Meltdown.
Just about 4 minutes 23 seconds, I believe there. And
Yeah.
you look at this at the scoreboard. So you've got Meltdown first, Geddy Lurie second, Meltdown third, Geddy Lurie taking fourth and fifth. Oh no! Momo from Meltdown had just actually snuck into fifth from sixth. So it's literally Meltdown, Geddy Lurie, Meltdown,
Yeah.
Geddy Lurie, Meltdown. Geddy. It's going to be so close and so tight after this first match.
That's
We've
a very
still got
tightly
3
knit.
more. Yeah, and we've still got 3 more matches to go. And the thing here as well is, with this being such a long map, they can
Sure.
easily get that kind of early advantage. And after you've had the first kind of bruising and battles at the beginning, then you get it kind of evening out and everything kind of spreads out. But that was impressive performance from both teams. But Kaiser there, he had no issues whatsoever.
Nah.
I clearly bet on the right horse there.
Definitely. Inside information from Chris.
Congratulations to Kaiser for a very great drive.
Yeah, that was a great race. And
We have seen some different tactics there at the beginning. They brought in a sweeper, that's what we call that. Tried to disturb the rear end of some cars around him, and it worked pretty well. But in the end, it was Kaiser all the way.
And this map just ended up getting Meltdown just 4 points ahead, I believe. And we'll get the
Very
score
minute.
updated in a
Very
little bit.
minute. And 4 points, it may seem like a lot, but it's not going to make a big difference when we see the rest of these matches go on. We got into a point where, I think it was yesterday, New York beat LA by a 20-point difference. So far, so good with this, though, because this is looking very close, and this is what I want to see from the semi-finals.
But then again, 4 maps and 4 points every map, that's going to end up being a huge difference.
Yeah,
as well,
it definitely
as well.
could be, but we'll have to wait down and see how it all plays out. So, from the driving you saw there, Chris, who would you say is doing a little bit better on the kind of taking the turns and taking the corners?
Kaiser all the way, of course, but I'm a little biased because I know him. But he did very well, and there were not too many shots of his driving, but.
So we're going to go on to Grant Park Loop next, and it's going to be the second map. We'll be joining spectator mode very shortly for this race. And we can see it all coming up. We're going to get the scoreboards on the screen very shortly as well. And look at this. We watch our spectators dip out and get into position, and they'll go look and see what's going on with the rest of the races here. Let's see how quickly we can get on to seeing the corners. And
The
here
first
we go.
corner actually coming up right now. Kaiser being in third right now and trying to squish onto a better position, but he gets punished hard.
That was painful.
Yeah, so that was a strategic choice from Geddy Lurie right there.
They take out the leader, eh?
Yeah,
That's,
he's going to have to slipstream all the way through this map now to get back in position. There is a lot of places on this map, like a lot of really sneaky turns where you need to exit very fast. Like, it's not about getting fast into the corner, but getting fast out of it, so you can maintain a high speed during the next big, open road.
So potentially we could see a lot of nitro boost being used there, I guess, as well,
Yeah,
to kind
exactly.
of propel them forward. And as well as using the nitro on the straights, you've got to make sure if you're getting slipped out, you want to kind of send yourself all the way around these corners, pushing yourself a little bit further, especially if you have to hit that handbrake turn.
But what Nicolas just said is very important. Carry as much speed as you can to the next straight, and it will give you a big advantage at the end.
And here in
Definitely.
like we just saw in the corners here, there's a lot of cars just being parked or coming in oncoming traffic as you turn a corner, and it's so hard to react to that in time. Like,
And
there
look-
is ways of dealing with it, but it's so close to impossible that you see here a guy just Kaiser actually dodging it by a centimeter.
And we have a look at the scores right now. Geddy Lurie are just going to be 4 points ahead of Meltdown Paris. So they must have just had that with at the end there. We must have seen them change around a little bit, and Geddy Lurie just edging a player a little bit ahead. But still, it's only 4 points difference, and we're halfway through the first map now. Sorry, the second map now even. And look, they're still battling it out. And
They tried
looks
to
like
take him
Meltdown's
out,
doing
but
a
they
bit
failed.
better there.
They failed badly at the takeout there.
So we've got Momo up first, we've got Koga coming second. Second and third actually belong to Geddy Lurie, but they're fighting around each other at the moment. Kaiser's desperately trying to push back. He's currently in fourth. He was in last place. He's
getting
now in third.
now.
He's really pushing for it against these Geddy Lurie players. Whoa, and they come hitting the side really hard there. And guess what? They've just completely totaled. I believe that was Xerox. His car went flying just then.
That was an alternative line there over the pavement there.
Yeah, they're finding their own lines definitely in this.
They're creating their own lines.
And there's actually a lot longer to go in this map, because I believe it's 2 or 3 laps. So nothing set in stone quite yet. Momo has quite a comfortable lead in first there, but I believe that Kaiser will actually overtake his teammate here. He's managed to work his way up from the bottom of the field.
Yeah, Kaiser is doing incredible. He's just taking these lines so much better than the other players at the moment. It's coming from 6th and currently in 2nd. He can see his teammate in front of him, but the Geddy Lurie players, they aren't that close on him. You can just about see him in the distance, but if he keeps driving flawlessly like this, he's surely not going to have any issues. And this is what Meltdown need. Being 4 points behind, they really need a first and a second place on this second map right now.
And I think they drive on hardcore as well. It looks like it.
If he's as good as you think he is, Chris, then he probably is driving on hardcore, because I know that's a mode you favourite as well.
His teammate too.
And you can saw it then that as a teammate, he just let Kaiser get in front there.
Exactly, and
they weren't fighting each other.
So you know there's a faster team player, so you let him go, and then you block the guys coming from behind.
Yeah, you can see Momo just trying to force, I believe that's Koga right there. He was trying to force Koga off the map.
And the strategic choice of letting your fastest guy just letting him pass is that you can actually use his relatively stable slipstream, like you know where he's going to be. He's pretty exact every time, and that's why he's fast. So you can just lie exactly behind him and use his speed to your advantage and get more acceleration going from sitting in his pocket.
Oh, we've seen it swap though. Koga's managed to take over Kaiser there, and at Kaiser you can just see him. He's ferociously chasing right now. But Koga must have been hitting them lines pretty well. And the thing is, it's all about risk versus reward here. Are you going to take that corner, or is it going to be too risky? How can you make it play out for you? And we're currently seeing Meltdown's got 2nd and 3rd. It's still good, but they really need to take that first position.
It will destabilize the car when you cut the corner too hard. It will jump up, and it can destroy your...
like we just saw there, straight into a tree from Kaiser. Not what we would have expected from him, given how well he done the first one. But look at this, he's just got past another player there. He is currently in... it looks like it's... he's in 1st at the moment still, somehow it says on the scoreboards. Momo in 2nd, Koga 3rd. And no, Momo's just taken over Kaiser, so it's a little battle between the Meltdown guys on their own there at the moment.
And Koga here actually being very far behind, it seems. Like Kaiser is all the way up on a lap on him actually.
A whole lap on him? Wow.
Lap. He was just lapped, yes.
I'm sitting here trying to figure it out, but I'm like, why is Kaiser chasing someone? They should be way ahead of him.
Yeah, because I was looking at that he was 1st, and I'm sat there thinking, well, it says he's 1st on the scoreboards, but wow, he's doing that well at the moment, and we've still got quite a few checkpoints to go. Probably about another minute, if I'm remembering correctly, for this map.
Yeah, well, they actually just entered the 3rd and final lap, so and about 2.5 minutes left, and Kaiser here in an amazing position. He's got pretty far down to the 2nd place, and that's a teammate, so he's pretty comfortable right now and just needs to be keeping his head cool and driving as clean as he can. Yeah,
he needs to play flawlessly now, and as long as his teammate does a good job of keeping away the other players from chasing on him, he won't have another problem with winning another race here.
You just saw a very good example of proper use of the nitros. Wait until your car is straight and then use all the nitro you have, and not just keep pressing the buttons like you see some players do. When you use the nitro that way, it's much more efficient, and you gain a lot more speed on the straight.
Yeah, I actually ended up doing a lot of I played manual shifting, and I used the nitro to just quickly get me into 4th, because I feel like that's the way my car handles better. And not only that, but accelerates faster. So if I get it into 4th very fast, then I can really maintain a great speed across the entire map. If 4th is my lowest gear and 120 miles per hour is my lowest speed.
Yeah, that is a pretty impressive speed to manage to keep out throughout most of these tracks, especially some of these windy and bendy street tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kaiser's just continuing to
he's got to finish in his sights.
Yeah.
Now.
This is another flawless ride from him. He came all the way back from 6th to win this. He got completely ruined on the first corner there. But look, there you go. 1st place is going to be his. Probably going to see Momo hit 2nd. I don't see too much damage going on towards him at the moment. And the Geddy Lurie players, let's have a look rundown. It's Geddy Lurie in 3rd, 4th and 5th. You've got Xerox for Meltdown, sadly in 6th at the moment, but his other 2 teammates are in 1st and 2nd. So this point advantage is going to going to be very close once again. And these guys are just ferocious right now.
Yeah, it's not going to be much more than like 2 or 3 points in either way, or 2 or 4 points, I should say. But yeah, they really changed it up now, and the guys are really showing that he's the captain of his team.
To come back from 6th after being like completely totaled, he spun out massively on that first one.
Yeah,
and he just got bullied by the rest of the cars, and he did really well to come back from that. Chris, what did you think?
This was a very impressive race from Kaiser. He came back all the way from behind, and you could clearly see his skills all the way, using the nitros at the right time, and it was payback time.
What do you think separating Kaiser, for example, away from the rest of the players?
He was a little bit ferocious on times, but he can keep his cool when he needs to.
Yeah, it looked like it to me as well. Like he's a very calm player most of the time, but when he wants to be the first one out of a corner, he's trying everything he can, and sometimes he gets punished by a tree.
Yeah, them pesky trees.
Yeah, they are just.
Do you know what the thing that gets me most is? You know, sometimes we can go through fences. There's certain fences that you just can't go through.
Yeah.
Well, they got like the block paving underneath. I might just be looking and think, oh, I can go through that. Boom!
Yeah,
and
there's just the slightest difference in model, and you like, oh, I should have seen it.
Yeah.
That was the
Why
fence
didn't I
couldn't
get
go
that?
through.
I was like, then he comes back to what I was saying earlier about the risk and reward. Sometimes it just doesn't work out at all, and it's about knowing these maps.
Yeah, but you can imagine like trying to find all the crooks and crannies you can use to your advantage, and trying to find the fastest way across these maps. Driving into a lot of fences is one way to do it. Like, you really need to check every border of the map. Like, where am I limited? Where am I not?
Oh, look! See, this is a course I love. Have you had much experience with this, Nicholas?
I actually have, yeah. So this is a dirt map, and it's on a closed road. So I was just gonna see the spectators leave it.
Let's get rid of the
The
spectators.
first corner really says a lot in this map
Oh,
because
and
it's
look
so
at the
tiny and so
scoreboards. I have to bring to the scoreboards. Meltdown's pushed it to 40 right now. 31 for Geddy Larry. So they actually got a 9-point advantage.
There he was taken out by his own teammate.
The first corner here, his own teammates are gliding out so far because they want to take the corner fast, and they end up just slamming everybody into the wall. While Gate Lurik, they just take it nice and cool around the corner.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more teamwork coming from Geddy Larry, but Meltdown have a phenomenal driver in Momo and
We haven't seen him on dirt yet, actually. So
yeah,
you could never really tell.
This could be a huge difference because it drives so differently.
Indeed, it does. I mean, the tail of the car just wants to go everywhere you don't want it to go.
Exactly.
And it's just about really like figuring out the acceleration and braking on the map. Where can I brake and not just slide away? Where can I accelerate and not just slide away?
So we can currently see Galilei, Koga and Salanti.
Kaiser actually in
They've
bottom
actually in
place,
first and second. You've got Momo in third for Meltdown, Xerox in fourth, Numster in fifth, and Kaiser, he's just edged his way into fifth. He was in sixth. But again, he's not. He's starting off a lot worse. He might want to try that tactic that we were talking about before in hanging back at the beginning.
He did get slammed pretty hard by his entire team in the first corner, and Momo here actually doing quite well in his Nissan 370.
And they need to think about this. Teamwork is the key. You shouldn't be knocking out your team.
Exactly.
Because this isn't a solo race. All these points is for your team. If you want to go to that next level, get this teamwork sorted.
And an ideal crew has specialists in every aspect of the game.
And Momo here with a great overtake, taking the shorter turn than Koga, from Gidlerik, and actually managing to get out ahead.
Yeah,
just
but
pressing
close
him
on his
sort of back.
tail. Look at that right now.
That is a hardcore duel for the first place, and the rest of the teams the rest of the players of the teams are just trying to fight their way to as many points as possible across the board. And Gidlerik really wanting these.
What do you guys think about this jump right now? Some people say to go around it, others just say to nitro your whole way over top of it. What do you guys prefer?
I try to nitro just before it to get as high and as far as I can, just because I like to jump very hard and very big.
It looks a little bit cooler, doesn't it?
So
it's fun.
The theory crafter that I am, I checked this with like timers and everything.
Oh yes, Nicholas. I knew I could count on you for this information.
He is the mad scientist, really.
And we tried it several different ways, like go really, really fast into the jump, go very slow into the jump and land fast so you can get more speed going, or just go around it. And like, do you use all your nitros at this jump? Do you use none of it?
That's icing.
and we actually ended up just saying, no, just go over it. Just take it nice and easy, save your nitro. There's a turn coming where you could really use it, because that tricks you. You always slide this turn. Just use it for controlling your slide.
And it's so important and so critical to use your nitro at the right times, because if you go to hit your nitro and you've already exhausted all of it, you're in a tricky situation.
Which it feels like if you're pretty trigger happy on the nitro, it really you're constantly going, oh, I wish I had more nitro.
Oh, why did I use it then? I could have done with it now.
So you really need to plan out on every map. At least if you want to be as fast as you possibly can, you need to plan out everywhere you're going to use the nitro.
So
Accidents or not.
Kaiser
nice
right now
close
does
race.
not like dirt. He is in 5th still. He hasn't managed to climb his way all the way up yet. We've got Momo in 1st, Koga in 2nd, Salamchi in 3rd, Xerox in 4th, and then 5th Kaiser with Numpster 6th. But Momo still leading the way for Meltdown right now, but with 2nd and 3rd going to Geddy Laree, there could be a big change in points once again.
Actually, I just noticed here, while Momo and Koga are driving under this jump here, another guy is jumping over it, and that's just...
He must be quite far behind.
Yeah. But that could be Kaiser, actually, falling very far behind in this third map, and... Well, it is a completely different way of driving. Slipstreaming pretty much doesn't exist in dirt, because you're simply not driving fast enough to slipstream. So you're going to have to overtake your opponent by doing better corners, by knocking him into the walls. It's a bit more of a derby, if you want.
Are you surprised by Kaiser's performance there, Chris?
He performs on the dirt a lot worse than on tarmac. Yeah, you can't deny that. It's, every aspect of the game, you need specialists in every crew. An ideal crew has a good dirt driver, good tarmac driver, and maybe one who can squeeze through small alleys and stuff like that. So you can complement each other.
And actually, that's a very good point, because Kaiser might not have been the front rider on dirt right here, but Momo actually did very well and secured
really
the first place, and he was dueling all across the way, all along the way, and managed to get on with the first place anyway.
And if you think about that as well, Momo's actually the person who's usually been in 2nd at the moment.
Yeah.
Fighting off at the back. So maybe this suited him to just be aggressive and fight with all of the dirt riders there.
He is a bit more of a fighter than a sprinter.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to like the aggressive action.
Yeah, and like we on DS Rag, we have a sprinter and like a interceptor, if you will, just a guy, a buffer guy, and then we have our brawler who really just tries to knock everybody way off the road. And we can see the different strategies coming into play here as well. Like they have a brawler and he's good on dirt, and that's fine.
What do you think of sweeping? What do you think of it?
I'm not a fan. I enjoy clean driving and just
Me too, yes.
doing your best to show this. Oh, Airbase Assault, this
yes.
next map coming up actually.
Airbase Assault has the Tree of Pool that we